On the morning of June 15th, the Yankees were sitting at 50-22, 28 games over 500, and the first team in MLB to reach the 50-win plateau. However, in the 18 games they've played since then, they've won just 4 of them. During this stretch, nothing has been working. The bullpen, which is usually locked down, has been blowing games left and right. The starting pitching, which was great for the first 2.5 months of the baseball season, has been dreadful for the last 3 weeks and counting. But the thing getting the most attention during this stretch is their anemic offense outside of Juan Soto and Aaron Judge. They can't buy a hit, and even when they do get on base, the chance to score runs is immediately squandered. It's absolutely no exaggeration that since June 15th, the New York Yankees have been the worst team in Major League Baseball, even worse than teams such as the A's and the Rockies, who have been the laughingstock of the league for years now. At 4-14 since June 15th, they've won just 22% of their games. A 162 game pace would put their record at roughly 36 and 126. The Yankees have been absolutely terrible for an extended period of time now, and it doesn't look like it'll end anytime soon. So this begs the question, how did they fall off so hard after having what was possibly the best start in baseball this year? I'll start by looking at the team offense these last 18 games. Through June 14th, it was probably a winning argument that the Yankees had the best offense in the entire league. They had scored the most runs, hit the second most home runs, had the second highest OPS, and had the highest barrel rate. They were top 5 in essentially every meaningful offensive stat category that there is. Because of this, it was clear how they were winning so many games. However, after that torrid start, the offense has come to a standstill. Despite Aaron Judge and Juan Soto still hitting like they were previously, the Yankees team's offensive stats have been in the bottom third of the league for quite a while now. Since June 15th, the Yankees rank 27th in team slugging percentage at an abysmal .367. This ranks ahead of only the Marlins, Angels, and Mariners. With an OPS of .683, this is nearly 100 points lower than where they were before this cold streak. They've been pretty average overall for the last 18 games. However, the reason it's getting so much attention now is because they're losing games, and the offense is really only being generated by 2 players, Judge and Soto. 2 players that were doing very well before this cold streak were Anthony Volpe and Alex Verdugo, but since the 15th, they've been 2 of the worst players in baseball on offense. Volpe has posted a .482 OPS during this time, with Verdugo somehow worse at .450. Those numbers make for good slugging percentages, not OPS numbers. Verdugo has just 1 barrel in 18 games and is failing to hit the ball hard at all. Volpe has double Verdugo's barrels at a whopping 2. They're both making contact quite often, but the problem is that it's bad contact that's not resulting in any sort of meaningful damage. In 157 plate appearances combined, they have hit exactly 0 home runs. There's 0 power in either of their bats right now. They might not be putting up mammoth strikeout numbers like you see in a lot of players' slumps, but their average contact has been weak most of the time. If you thought they were the Yankees' worst hitters during this time, you thought wrong. Since signing a 6-year, $90 million contract in 2021, DJ LeMahieu has consistently gotten worse in some way every single year. And it might be at a breaking point this year. Since June 15th, LeMahieu is slugging .200. His terrible average launch angle of 1.8 has led to an explosion of ground balls. Since he can't hit the ball hard anymore, these aren't getting through for base hits like they used to. The only way that he can do damage now is to hit line drives, which he has not been doing during this stretch. He's quite literally playing the worst baseball of his career in 2024. On the pitching side of things, there are definitely a few scapegoats. In his last 4 starts on the mound, Carlos Rodon has pitched to an ERA not far short of 11. He has allowed 7 home runs during this time. When hitters make contact with his pitches, they barrel it up over 16% of the time. When hitters put the ball in the air, it's a home run 25% of the time. Rodon was pitching great to start the year, which is why this new development is so shocking. Marcus Stroman is another starter who is struggling pretty badly. In 4 starts since the 15th, he's pitched to a 6.43 ERA. Like Rodon, he has had a home run problem. In his most recent start versus the Reds on July 4th, he allowed 3 home runs for a total of 5 RBIs. He's been better than Rodon, but these two collapsing at the exact same time has not been ideal for the Yankees pitching staff. The bullpen is really where the Yankees have lost most of their games during this stretch. The closer, Clay Holmes in particular, is having a rough last few weeks. Last night versus the Red Sox, he had them down to their final strike before Masataka Yoshida launched a 405-foot home run to right field that tied the game, and the Yankees would later blow it again in the 10th inning on their way to a 5-3 loss. In 6 innings since the 15th, he has allowed 6 earned runs and 2 home runs. He has a 308 batting average against, and his sinker, which is usually his premier pitch, has been terrible lately. Another arm in that bullpen that has been awful has been Caleb Ferguson. He has allowed 9 hits and 6 earned runs in just 5 2/3 innings since the 15th. After a solid career with the Dodgers from 2018 to 2023, Ferguson has completely melted down this year in the first half for the Yankees. And those are just a couple of players in all 3 phases of the game that have been massively struggling. Some other hitters have been bad and some other pitchers have been bad. If I talked about them too, the video would be a lot longer. If the Yankees don't figure this out soon, it could genuinely lead to them missing the playoffs as they're starting the season 50-22.